Thank you, everyone. I'm very excited to be here today with Stephen Beeber. Stephen and I sort of go way back. Full disclosure, Stephen was at my 30th birthday party, which feels like a million years ago.
All right, it was a good
But
party.
great to see you. And Stephen is the editor of Conduit magazine and also Conduit. I think you just launched a press, so we'll talk about that. So welcome, Stephen. Everyone, any questions you have, go ahead and type them into the chat and we will work them into the conversation. So Stephen, hope you're doing well today. And why don't you tell us a bit about your magazine, its history, when it
Sure.
started, why it started, how it started?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're really both proud and a little shocked that it's been as long as it has, right?
Hmm.
Like you and your 30th birthday party, like
I
how,
know.
just races by. Um, I just wanted to check because there's so much that happens. I almost need to refer to my notes to remember where we are at this point. But it's been 30 odd years. I know that. It goes
Wow.
back to the 90s and uh, began during my MFA years at UMass Amherst. William Waltz, who is the publisher founder, he's really the godfather of it all. You know, he's the god who caused the Big Bang. And I admired him when he started, and I've only become more impressed over the years, just what he has done with the journal and now Conduit Books, which is a more recent, offshoot over the past few years, and just continue to win awards for our books and publish every year. This past year, three books, and we hope to do even more in the coming years and just really just been a joy being involved. I'm associate editor and love every second of it, and
Wow.
just it's grant free since 1993, if I remember correctly, our tagline. So. Uh, William, I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but I think that's correct. It's a real alternative to other journals.
Hmm.
It's fun yet very thoughtful, dedicating mainly to poetry, although we have fiction occasionally. We have a lengthy interview or two lengthy interviews in each issue, and we are just, having a ball doing it, and hope to keep doing it for a long time.
That's great. I don't know if you have an issue handy, but can you talk about the shape of the magazine? Because speaking of being an alternative to literary magazines, it has a
Yeah,
very unusual shape.
it does. It does. It's shapely. Do you mind if I run and grab a copy? I should have had one on hand. It'll take me 30 seconds
Oh,
if you.
sure. Okay, yeah, no
All
problem.
right, hold on one sec. I'll be right
Okay.
back. Okay. Shot. Okay. So back with copies in hand. I just grabbed the ones I saw most immediately. I don't know if you know, Becky, but I collect records, and there
Uh-huh.
are boxes and boxes of records climbing up the ceiling past my bookcases
Oh,
now.
wow.
Yeah, anyway, so here's one, Gut Feelings,
Uh-huh.
too long to even fit in the screen. And we don't have page numbers. That's a fun thing. We have word per page, a word every page. So we're
Oh,
very.
interesting.
Yeah, we're all, what is it, right brain, left brain? I'm so whatever brain that I don't
Right.
remember which is which because math, I just don't compute. But yeah, we're all literature all the time, all words. Here's
Oh,
another
wow.
one.
Oh.
And each issue has a theme. So Nightlight was that this one about night, basically, and gut feelings, intuition, I think, was sort of inspiration for that. Oh, and then, of course, he who hath no name, and we get tired of hearing about, but there he is, our town in chief.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was about democracy, fascism, all that good stuff, ripple effects,
Uh-huh.
and sideways. And oh, there he is again, the clown. So let's skip him. Anyway, yeah, and we come out twice a year on our sort of schedule, somewhat of a tight schedule, poetry time.
Hmm.
And what else can I tell you? Anything you want to know? I'm happy
What was
to.
what was the thinking behind the shape? Was it just to be, you mentioned being like an alternative to
Mhm.
literary magazines, which is also interesting because I think of literary magazines already as the alternative. So this is like the
Right,
alternative to the
right,
alternative.
right.
So is it just like a fun kind of
That's
aesthetic
part of
thing?
it. Yeah, that's part of it for sure. And I think part of it is that poems often need space to really appear
Mm,
in the way they're meant to be read. So you have a longer column there, an opportunity for that without just, flipping a page if it's a long poem and it ends up being broken up.
mm,
Uh, More can appear on the pay art. We have a lot of
mm,
really beautiful art in each issue, full color. Um, but other than that, I think just in a way, something different. It's nice to see different shapes, right?
hmm.
It makes your mind adjust, and they say the way to stay inspired is mix things up. Oh,
Yeah.
see something different. So
Hmm. Hmm.
that would be part of it. Yeah.
For sure. Question here, where is the journal distributed?
We appear in many bookstores.
Mhm.
We have a website where you can subscribe, order past copies if you want, conduit.org. It's a fun website too. Lots of little, at times I think like old England, with all the graphics and Monty Python kind of stuff, but not corny. I don't know. Monty Python's not corny. I shouldn't say that. But anyway, yeah, bookstores across. We were hit like everyone by the closing,
Mm,
SPG, and but we got a grant recently to help us with distribution again.
mm,
So that was real welcome
mhm.
because a lot of journals just I think were hit super
Yeah.
hard. Uh,
Hmm.
and yeah, but if anyone has any questions in their specific area about where to find a copy, they can contact us and we'd be happy to tell them.
There's a
Uh,
question, do you ship to Europe?
yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, we have a lot of readers in Europe, a lot of submitters from Europe. And so for sure, yeah.
Hmm. Now, you mentioned your record collection, and I know I've
Yeah.
actually also used your nonfiction book as a reference for my own writing, which is about like the punk scene in the 80s.
Right.
How much, I always thought of Conduit as like a kind of music oriented journal, but maybe that's, I just associated it with you and your interest.
I don't want to overstate it. I mean, we have interviewed musicians. Richard Hell, well, I interviewed him for one of our issues, which was great. And Mark Rebo, who was part of the downtown knitting factory scene,
Oh, wow.
a great guitarist, and part of the whole John Zorn kind of,
Mm,
movement there. And other musicians, I'm blanking at the moment. I wouldn't say we're necessarily music centric, but we
mm,
love music, so we'll take it, but I
mm.
wouldn't say necessarily that there's any special focus on music. Really,
Mm.
poetry, if anything, is the main
Yeah.
focus, and any and all,
Mm,
as long as it's good.
hmm.
You
And is
in our
Conduit like, do you guys go to AWP and do you do the sort of lit mag participation stuff, or is it sort of like in its own arena?
No, we have gone to AWP. I went. I don't travel so much because
Hmm.
of budget
Hmm.
constraints, right? As a
Sure.
writer, but when it was here in Boston, I was at our table and we were offering free haircuts as part of our. Yeah,
Oh,
so
sounds
uh,
messy.
very very proud to offer the free haircuts. I can't say I'm the Sassoon trained, but I did my best, and people seemed happy. One of our loyal readers, was offering her, hair up to the gods of
Wow.
muses, and we
Uh-huh.
accepted as a conduit to the overlords up there, and I guess the priest or the pope of
Right.
haircutting that day. Yeah, but we're at AWB, sure.
Okay.
We're not alternative in the sense that we're no to everything. There's
Right.
nothing
Right.
wrong with institutions that
Mhm.
are doing good work, and AWP does great work. It's
Mhm.
promoting writing. I mean, hard to argue with that.
Mhm.
Um, if anything, I just think we're offering a venue for sometimes voices that aren't ready to be recognized
Mhm.
by the mainstream. I know Bob Hickok, who's been publishing in Conduit for years and years, decades, was in the New Yorker recent issue. So, they finally caught up with us over at the New Yorker, and we're glad to see it. Um, and I think again, our sense of humor
Mhm.
is something that's welcome.
Mhm.
Uh, I find personally sometimes that writing can be we forget the playful element, the
Mhm.
the the joy of it. I saw that Dylan film, which I enjoyed. Uh, Timothy Chalamet's performance was great. However, I thought he was so brooding, and sure, Dylan could brood and be a pain in the ass,
Mhm.
but he was also fun. Go
Yeah.
watch that Scorsese documentary, No Direction Home, and
Mhm.
he's just playful as can be. I mean,
Mhm.
he's the fifth Marx brother.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, we um, are alternative, but not naysayers. We're not just a kid
Right.
saying no to everything.
Mhm. Mhm. So is that how would you describe the aesthetic of the magazine? Is it playful, humor oriented, but I'm guessing not like joke humor, more like
Yeah.
wit and
I don't want to oversimplify or pigeonhole us in any way.
Mhm.
I mean, I think most of us involved in Conduit were big fans of James Tate. He was at
Mhm.
UMass Amherst when we were in the MFA program. And Tate has been described as a surrealist, although he didn't love that term at all.
Mhm.
And there were a lot of laughs at his readings for good
Mhm.
reason. He's very funny. If I guess if there's any aesthetic, it might, you know, there might be some common ancestor there. Uh,
Mhm.
you know, we're maybe bonobos rather than humans is the alternative, and
Mhm.
but we all. But Tate could make you cry, and
Mhm.
often did. And there's a lot of comedy and tragedy. It's very close, right? Those who know difficulty and have a sense of humor to
Mhm.
cope. So anyway, we're not frivolous. If I would stress that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question. I don't think I have to defend it. I don't know why I feel the need to defend
Mhm.
comedy.
Mhm.
It's you know, best comics can be great actors. I don't know if
Mhm.
dramatic actors can always do comedy. So anyway, yeah, if anything, I'd say that might be something of an aesthetic and
Mhm.
something of I hate that term surreal, but I
Mhm.
wouldn't say we're you know mm, oh, what would be the term? You know, Linear, logical,
Mhm.
borderline essay type
Mhm.
poems.
Sure.
So that's the best I think I
Mhm.
offer there.
Sure. So take us through your editorial process. What happens when work comes in? Uh,
Mhm.
do you solicit work or does all of it come through the slush pile? And how does that all work?
A lot of slush pile,
Hmm.
some solicitations. We have some, regular contributors over the years. Derry Weir, Bob Hickok, who I mentioned, Joe Winderoth. Um, so we have loyal readers and loyal contributors. And we pretty much are open to anything that, like I say, that is part of, if anything, the philosophy is that
Hmm.
if it's exciting, if it's interesting, if it captures something, unique and true, we're open to it. We have readers on staff. Everything goes through a number of readers, and eventually there's a consensus, and we decide what is included, what isn't. We're not all in the same location, so some of that is virtual.
Mm.
A lot of that is virtual. Um, there are no pounding on desks, storming out of meetings, or no vendettas. I don't know. It's probably pretty similar to a lot of processes at
Right.
different magazines. I don't really know what it is like at other magazines. I'd be
Mhm.
interested if it was different.
Mhm.
I'd like to say it's all me. I do everything. No, no, no. So
It's a
it,
pretty large staff.
it is. Yeah, yeah. And it's grown.
Yeah.
People just want to be involved.
Hmm.
Know, uh, I won't say by any stretch of the imagination I'm getting rich. If anything, it costs, right? But it's something you want to dedicate yourself to.
Hmm.
I really care about it, and I think we all do. I think we see it as a mission on some level. Just
Hmm.
keep keep the flame, keep it alive, keep it going. In these times, if anything makes you feel better, it's working in some area of truth and beauty,
Hmm.
something that sings, something that uh, stands against all the crass, craven impulses
Hmm.
seem to be rising everywhere.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how does the magazine sustain itself, if you don't mind getting into that? Because I think editors are probably curious too. Like if you're
Mhm.
apart from just the one you just got, no grants, is it all subscriptions? Where do the resources come from?
Yeah, subscriptions.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah. We may be a little more open to the grants these days. I know with the recent one we got for the to supplement us in the loss of distribution. Um, so, but largely it's really the community that
Hmm.
reads us, and um we have many loyal subscribers, and
It's terrific.
love them.
Hmm.
They write letters, we respond. The letters are some of the funniest things in each issue. The responses to the letters. So
Yeah.
yeah, I recommend checking those out. Um, I'll be absolutely honest with you, Becky. This is less my area.
Mm.
I'm not really the money person, so I don't want to say too much and be misleading.
Hmm.
If you want to, we can supplement later. I can find out some more
Sure.
if there's
Sure.
more, or you put you in touch with someone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you want to, can you tell us about the book, the press that was just recently launched, and what was the impetus for that, and what type of work are you looking for?
hmm the press, was, Bill's idea, and I think it's something he wanted to do for a long time,
Mm.
and has been a huge success. We keep winning awards. We won, I think, we've won 5 awards.
Wow.
Uh, and if you don't mind, I'd just like to kind of tell you some of those. Uh, I'm sorry, eight of our 13 books have won awards. I got,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, 8. Um, we also, like I say, are publishing more books as we go along, and we have hopes to do more of that. Uh, the philosophy of the book's not really that different from the magazine, right? I would say it's if you read the poetry in each issue and then you read the books, you're probably getting some similar, uh,
Mm.
kind of a product here. And I feel like I'm talking about, sausage here. So But yeah, it's related,
Mm,
and but just wanted to do something more long form, something that would be lasting and something beautiful. I would say, part of what I didn't really mention this when you were asking about the shape of the magazine, but the graphics are just wonderful.
hmm
Uh, Randall Heath for years has been creating our covers and some of the artwork inside, and just gets better and better. It's just
mm,
amazing to me. I love his work so much, and the books are beautiful as well. Really, just kind of works of art all around. And um, what else can I tell you about them? They are. I don't know what else I can tell you. I would like to add, though, about awards that one thing I didn't mention is from the magazine itself, from the journal, we regularly have poems picked for the Best American Poetry
mm.
series each year. That's just pretty much every year we have a few. So, we're kind of award-winning
Mhm.
hot shots. I don't know what else. Right. And we're in our 35th issue. I thought it was 36. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm working on the next issue right now. So I just want to clarify 35. So
So it sounds like if somebody has a collection of poems and they're trying to figure out if your press would be right, the best
mm,
thing for them to do would be to read the magazine because the
absolutely.
aesthetic is
Absolutely.
similar.
Yes. And pick up some of the books,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
I think that would also be a great way to go.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, the journal, the books
Mhm.
would
Do
definitely
you
give them a good
have
idea.
a view on, so actually someone is working on an article for Lit Mag News about this, if poetry publishers care whether work has been previously published in other journals, is there a percentage that you want to see or don't want to see? If like 100% of the poems have already been
Mm.
published, will that discourage you from accepting that, or fewer poems published?
Yeah, I don't want to give you a definitive answer because
Sure.
I'm not sure I know that.
Mhm.
I know some of them would likely have been published before just because poets are out there and working and want their work seen.
Mhm.
So let me defer that question for the future and I can
Makes
get
sense.
back to you. Yeah.
Got it. All right, well, let's talk a little bit, if you don't mind. I know there's some brouhaha, a little bit of drama
Uh-huh.
with another press in
Yeah, yeah,
England, and they are
right.
called so you're Conduit and they're Conduit Books. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, yeah. The He-Man Women Haters Club, doppelganger, dark side.
Uh-huh.
Our shadow self out there. I don't know what you call it. They're ridiculous. It's
Mhm.
absolutely ridiculous.
Mhm.
And it's absorbed resources and time that's just a waste.
So let's
And
back up because I think not
yeah,
everyone might even know what we're talking about.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
So
yeah.
we only became aware of it through the press ourselves. There is a startup, if you want to call it that,
Mhm.
Conduit in England that is dedicated to helping men get published because
Mhm.
men have so much trouble getting published these days. And part of the, I don't know, backlash, right
Mhm.
wing, I don't know how they see themselves. That's how I see it, bitter,
Mhm.
unpleasant, different mission. Let's just put it that way. And maybe I shouldn't
Mhm.
phrase it that way, but a very, very different mission. We
Mhm.
we don't think that way, and I think our publications show that.
Yeah.
Many of our award-winning books are by women,
Mhm.
uh, and many of our poems are by women, and I don't really think that is the issue, regardless about just good poetry, right? So,
Yeah.
um, but
So
we,
just to clarify for
yeah,
anyone who's unfamiliar, so your press is called Conduit Books. Is that
and
correct?
books and ephemera,
Conduit Books and
right?
Ephemera, and they are just Conduit. And this is a press that started in England and it's dedicated to
Yeah,
publishing. They say right now, they might, I think they've conceded a little bit. They might change things in the future, but they are exclusively dedicated to publishing men. I don't think they are poetry. I think it is fiction. I could be wrong about that. But it is, I would feel very weird if like someone else started a Lit Mag News and had like a completely different mission,
absolutely.
even regardless of what the mission is. It's
Right.
just like a weird, like they are, it is like a doppelganger. They're sort of like echoing what you already do, and it's confusing for your audience, and it
Oh,
makes
it's so
motion
confusing.
difficult.
No, yeah, it's horrible. I mean, we've had people who are loyal readers writing us and saying, "Have you changed your mission?" Like,
Oh
oh,
wow.
my God, no, not at all. It's like someone stealing your identity,
Yeah,
allergy
yeah.
to, uh, you know, all kinds of things you would never buy, like
Mhm.
Nazi paraphernalia. No, we don't collect that. Stop charging in our name. Yeah, no, it's just it's absurd. I don't know if they just didn't research,
Mhm.
if this is, cluelessness on their part.
Mhm.
There is now legal back and forth about how this is going to be settled. We want them to just change their name. That seems the obvious
Mhm.
solution. Um, mm, the law is the law. Uh,
Mhm.
there may have to be some compromise where they're that in England, but they can't be that here.
Mhm.
But we also distribute in England, so it's still an issue for us
Right.
because it's confusing there as well. So, a lot of financial resources have gone into having to deal with this, and our
Yeah.
readers have been great. They've been donating
Mhm.
uh, money because we don't have it, and lawyers cost, and it's just it's depressing to be
Yeah.
honest.
Mhm.
Like what the hell?
Mhm.
We're busy enough trying to do good work, and then we have to deal with this,
Mhm.
and it's very frustrating. What
Yeah.
can I say? But if anything, I just can't stress enough that we have nothing to do with these folks,
Mhm.
and we were here first for a long time,
Mhm.
and we have a very different mission. Our,
Mhm.
our mission is just truth and beauty. I don't know how to put it, nothing to do with, anybody's bitter agenda.
Yeah.
Feeling,
Do you
but
know if business names are copyrighted?
again, I'm going to have to refer to the lawyer on
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that's part of the issue. I think it's even though if you've got a name that's so close,
Hmm.
it's not literally copyrighted because it's
Right.
a little different, but the
Hmm.
confusion in the public mind is there.
Yeah.
You know,
Are
if I
you seeing? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, if I name my magazine The New Yorker lowercase
Hmm.
letters,
Right.
I think people are going to think I'm the New Yorker, right?
Right.
So
That's interesting.
yeah,
Have you noticed submissions like geared toward like that are meant for them coming to you?
I'm not sure if we've had that. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. It's been pretty recent.
Right.
And so the process of getting those around and for readers, I can double check on that for you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope not.
And have they, I don't know if you can say, but have they been receptive or responsive at all?
I, yes and no.
Yeah.
Long time in responding. Originally, got a
Mhm.
response, will respond soon, didn't
Okay.
respond soon, et cetera, et cetera. So it just drags on,
Right.
becomes costlier, more damage is done. Uh, it's a mess. It's
Yeah.
really a mess.
That's
I
really
don't know.
awful.
I can't, it's hard to believe someone who cares about writing
Yeah.
would approach everything this way,
Right. Right.
from the mission down to the implementation of it, or
Yeah. That's really unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah. I imagine like it would be bad on their end too. Like why would they? It just creates confusion for them as well because they're going to be
Right.
getting these like quirky poems,
Maybe that's what
you
we need
know,
to point
like,
out
oh,
to
we
them.
saw your
Like,
interview.
I
Now we're
know,
going to
right?
send all these quirky poems.
Why do these women keep sending us poems?
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God, poor Conduit, whatever
Right.
their name. I can't, it's like I don't even want it in my mouth, so I don't
Yeah.
even really
Yeah.
think about their name.
Yeah.
They who hath no name or shouldn't. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a sign of our success that people want to be
It's a
confused,
good name.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, going back to your conduit, so
Yes.
what are
A
what
true
are
original Conduit. Yeah.
what are some trends maybe that you're seeing in submissions right now? Are there particular topics that people are covering a lot of right now?
And if anything, and this is anecdotal and just my maybe subjective take on it, but I think people are responding to the current situation in very slant ways.
Mm,
There's, I think, a lot of pressure to be dealt with,
mm,
and maybe the response to that is a slightly more absurd response to the
mm,
absurd situation.
mhm,
A cathartic kind of delirium.
mm,
Uh, you know, Minds on fire is one of our taglines from the beginning, for Minds on Fire Conduit. I think they're burning.
mm,
And some of that is just got a heat that's maybe getting intense
mm,
for folks. Um, so if anything, yeah, I can't give you a specific example, but it does feel like we're in a fever dream
mm.
of a period, and that is maybe coming through in some of the work.
Interesting. Is there anything you definitely do not publish and you want to tell writers like please stop? Like you tend to see a lot of XYZ and you just want to tell people like, look, this is not what we do.
I don't think I would say anything's verboten, you
Hmm.
know. Um, Again, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
Uh, and good, I mean, it's subjective, right?
Mhm.
But if it hits us and we think there it would be the same for others, and we want to help it to get an audience.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess if someone said something that was, I can't think what. I mean, the other conduit sent us something for,
Mhm.
you know, the He-Man Women Haters
The
Club
human conduit.
checklist of what's wrong with literary magazines.
Mm.
Might not be inclined to. I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of anything
Yeah.
seriously.
Do you work with writers on revision or should a piece be pitch perfect when it comes in?
Um, yeah, I mean, we trust the writers to shape their work in the way they want it. But with that said, there might be a little
Mhm.
notes. What is it in Hollywood? They call them notes.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so there might be some of that,
Yeah.
but I don't think we're ever too insistent about anything,
Mhm.
you know.
Do you know, is there anything that you actively would like to see more of in submissions? Maybe
Hmm.
in terms of, particular people, particular writers sending in work, particular subject style.
I'm only saying this because of this conduit, spy versus spy situation. Women, I mean, more than welcome to please. That's
Yeah.
not our mission. So, if I want to put it, out there in plain black and white,
Mhm.
yeah. Otherwise, just people who love poetry, love good writing. And I
Mhm.
keep saying poetry, but there are the occasional fiction pieces. Just the page lengths become difficult
Mhm.
sometimes, and that's more of an issue than anything. But sometimes we have flash fiction,
Mhm.
prose poems, that kind of thing. And I wouldn't rule out a longer piece. We had an Elisa Nutting story
Oh, wow.
a while back. Yeah. Um, and I'm blanking. I just, I'm much better in print, Becky. Here, speaking off the cuff in person, it's like there I am on Zoom. And I have to, but so excuse me for forgetting things, but yeah, we've definitely had stories in the past, and I'm sure we'd love to see
Yeah,
other great
great.
pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have one final question. This has been great. You've been just fine in person.
Okay.
It's been great.
Yeah. Right.
So thank you, and thanks everyone for coming out. One final question. This is a question I ask all editors. And I think you may have already answered it a little bit, but what keeps you motivated? What keeps you inspired? It sounds like you don't need much motivation. You love this work. You're very connected to
Yeah.
your staff.
Yeah.
But surely there must be days when you feel like
Right.
I can't read another submission. So
Right.
what
Right.
on those days, what keeps you going to do this work?
I think if anything, aside from the love of it in general, and you're right, there are days when, with life in general, it gets to
Hmm.
be too much. But our readers seem to so love what we do
Hmm.
that it kind of buoys you up when you start to feel like the energies are flagging.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's someone out there who really does appreciate this and
Hmm.
really does want it and is of like mind.
Hmm.
And being a writer is a lonely business. And having a community of sorts. I should mention we also uh, uh, have a reading series now, and that's wonderful for that reason. A lot of our readers in the Minneapolis area, which is where we're based, come out, and readings other places too, I should say. And that feeling of connection
Yeah.
is just wonderful. So I think if anything, maybe that is uh, part of what keeps us going. And the big bucks, the money pouring in.
Right.
The product endorsements. I'm doing a Wheaties
Right, right. The
cereal box next
Nike
week.
end.
Conduit. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I write a poem, I have a big bowl of Wheaties before.
Yeah. Well, that's great, Stephen. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
everyone for
you.
coming out.